sentences. Who the hell do you think you are?
I see you, I don't
Can you
see you.
do what you're supposed to do?
Everything is okay. It's okay.
And if you are angry, then you are the crazy one.
Give and take.
I don't exist.
For real.
Welcome to For Real, episode 25. This is a podcast on human dignity, recorded on the 11th of May 2025 at Theaterfestival Auawirleben at the Dampfzentrale in Bern, Switzerland. We got together with 60 people to look into what it means to matter. Our guests go through a 2-hour experience in which they listen to pre-recorded interviews about the intellectual undermining of women. Music is made by Jorge Dumitrio on viola and guitar, Sarah Jeffrey on recorders and voice, and myself on harp. My name is Andrea Voets, and here at Resonate Productions we make musical journalism by combining social journalism with lots of original music. During 4 moments within For Real, the audience is invited to be interviewed by one of the musicians. In this podcast, you hear those conversations exactly as they took place.
Who would like to join me?
Welcome. You can bring it with you if you like. Now I wish I had one. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. I'll introduce myself first. I'm Sarah. I was born in 1985 in Liverpool, in England. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'm Yaniv. I was born in 1977 in Israel.
Okay. Yaniv, which question would you like to talk about?
What does humiliation feel like to you, maybe? I think I feel the most... I don't even know how to say it, but when someone cancels me, and then usually I get both kind of like a crunch, maybe in the center of the body, and then I get a lot of anger as a response. Yeah. Also, maybe there is like this, the first reaction is this crunch, like emptiness in the middle, but after there is a lot, so it's anger, or I get very sad, or misunderstood, or feel like that, yeah.
Do you see this manifest in the other person as well?
No, I think sometimes people maybe don't know that they are. I don't think sometimes. I don't think it's intentional, or sometimes it can be maybe. That sometimes instead of like hearing what you're saying, they kind of like box it in a certain way that then cancel everything that you say because they just kind of like categorize it in a certain way, maybe. So, yeah. So maybe some people maybe use it as a tactic, maybe to cancel you, or yeah. And that I feel humiliated. Yeah.
That sounds exhausting. On one sense, you feel this physical crunch in your body. That sounds like pressure, emptiness, but you keep it in a way that the other person may not even notice. Is there a reason for that?
I can only talk about maybe if I do some kind of a fuck up and do that and rethink about what I said or what I do, or yeah. So I think sometimes maybe I maybe it's like a kind of like practice of power or something, that you have an argument with someone, or you have a discussion with someone, and just instead of kind of relate to what they say, you put it in a certain, you put them like you give, it's kind of like you explain the reason why they will say something like that, and then it's immediately cancelled. So I think, so I think it's kind of like it's a constant work, maybe also for myself, to, sometimes to be aware of what it's not even what but how people read me, and then maybe to question that. And I think sometimes I give the same courtesy to other people that I find humiliating me.
I have one last question, and how would you like people to perceive you? What would you feel is the real you, or the real truth you'd like them to see?
I think we live in a world, very polarized world, and then we tend to first, maybe I feel that there is a bit of tendency to be next to people that are exactly like us. That is one tendency, and then when we meet another person, we try to categorize them. Maybe I also do this. Categorize them very fast, and then everything that they say, you put in a certain light because you already put them in you already put the glasses on, and then I think it's constant work to actually meet a person and to discover them without those glasses. And it's impossible because we all have this kind of like preconceptions. But I find that for me now, especially in the last 2 years, that's kind of like, that was my constant work for myself. So sometimes I kind of like expect other people to do the same.
To actually meet a person and discover them.
Take some time on it, yeah.
Thank you so much for coming and sharing this.
Sure.
And for being the first at our table. Thank you.
Thank you.
I take back my place, but as an interviewer now. Is there anyone else who would like to answer one of these questions? Hello. Hi. Would you like to share your name, place of birth, and year of birth?
Sure, should I do my full name? Okay.
As you wish.
My name is Anna Lucic. I was born in 1997 in Zofingen, Switzerland. The question that I would like to discuss would be the first one. What do you think people imagine when they see you? I hope people see me as a kind person and as someone who is warm and open. That is very important to me as a person. And it is also probably the most heard question of my childhood, where my mother, who is a very strict but kind person, always told me, what will people think before I exited the house, the things that I wore, how I dressed, how I styled my hair, what kind of makeup I wore. If I did my bedroom, or if I left it in a sort of state of chaos, it's the question in the back of my mind probably all the time. It's like, what are people thinking of you?
Yeah. I think it's a lot of people, I think, have this, like, what is the first appearance? What is the first impression that you can create for other people? And from there, where will it go? And I'm curious, has it changed over time?
I wouldn't think so. I think that it is still very there. Maybe subconsciously I try to live my own life by my own rules, but it's somehow still in the, especially as a woman, like you don't want to come across as too assertive or too dominant or too intimidating. At the same time, you don't want people to run you over constantly, so you try to do this balancing act, and then you realize, oh no, I've again thought of other people's opinion before I thought about my own way of living and what I want, in fact, and not what other people want of me.
Yeah, so like putting the other's opinion first and reflecting yourself in the others before looking inside yourself. That's something, yeah.
And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's also sort of a universal experience for a lot of women, especially if you come from the Balkans, and then you have this certain image of womanhood in your own brain, and you're constantly at war with that, and then you realize after a while, or you think of yourself as a progressive woman, as someone who is independent and lives life according to their own rules, and then suddenly, oh no, I've again adhered to a certain standard that I would not wish upon everyone else, but I put it on myself, and perhaps it isn't anyone else who is putting that on, but it is there constantly.
Is there a way to change that, you think?
I hope so. I hope that with time, I mean, I'm only 27, so there's still time for me to grow out of it. And in conversation with friends and people that I love, that they tell me, you can relax a bit. Yeah.
I think that has to come from everywhere. Thank you for sharing this with us.
Thank you.
Hello. Hi. Would you like to give us your name, place of birth, and year of birth?
My name is Antonia. I'm from Lucerne, Switzerland, and I was born in 2003.
Antonia, what is going to be your question?
What do you do when you want to be heard?
What do you do?
I think I start to be more clear, and not only in the words that I use, but in it's like a feeling internally. It's a mindset that I'm taking on when I feel like that I'm not being heard or being heard correctly.
Is it like the mindset of being clear?
Yeah, it's a feeling, I would say. Yes.
And what makes you switch that on? What are the signs like, oh, it's time to start using this mindset of being clear?
When me and the person I'm talking to, or the people that I'm talking to, are talking about different things, like constantly talking about different things, or we're doing like a hand movement.
For the tape, we're moving our hands on two different tracks. Yes.
Yes, when you're talking on two different tracks, and that might be by accident, or that might be on purpose. Yeah, and then I try to mesh the tracks with clarity. Yeah.
And how do you do that in your mind? Like, clarity is like,
how do you get there? I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah. I think that somehow it's a switch. It's just a feeling of a switch that, or a power that emerges, kind of, and that also, yeah, as I did in my body, that I'm more erected, I'd say, and more upwards, and that I'm, yeah, maybe choosing my words more carefully, even, and yeah, with even more intention to be heard.
It also sounds like it's real work to have to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you have a moment in mind when you felt that you had to do it, but actually it felt like not nice to have to put on this clear posture and head in order to be heard?
I think whenever the misunderstanding from the other person or the not wanting to hear is intended to be a crossing of boundaries in a way, then that's not nice for me. And when I feel like that is simply talking on two different tracks, that is just a spur of the moment thing, then that's a work that I'm happy to do. And when it's more like a intentional, thing, then it's hard.
That's so interesting that you feel that there's a difference between somebody is not understanding me by accident and somebody is doing it actually on purpose. And that's a crossing of a boundary. I never thought of it that way, but it sounds very true. Antonia, is there something else that was important for you to say here today?
I have not heard of the podcast before, and I find that it is a great mix of lightness and heaviness or earnest in a way, and I find that is a beautiful, almost sacred mixture, honestly. Yeah, that's a compliment that I wanted to give you.
That means a lot to us, and it's many people together, including you, that make that possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Might there be someone else who wants to come to the middle? Oh, hey. Hey. Great. Would you like to give us your name?
My name is Vinny Lederman, and I was born in Zoug, and my year of birth is 1995.
And Zoug is, for my understanding, is in Switzerland?
Yes.
Yes. Vinny, what is going to be your question?
Do you resonate with something that has been said? And the last thing before this speaking was our absence goes unheard, and I almost had to cry because I feel like since since I got really chronically ill, I feel like I've been in bed so much, and I feel like chronically ill people get forgotten a lot, or they're not invited into spaces because they're too complicated, or it's too complicated. Yes.
Sweetheart. How long have you had this experience?
I first got chronically ill when I was 13, but nobody told me I was chronically ill. So I thought I was just weird. And now, yes, I think it's been 2 years since I realized that I'm chronically ill.
Yes. And did the people around you know it, that you were ill?
I think now, yes. But before, not really, I think.
And is this an illness that is for you like also a hidden illness?
Yes.
Like people can't physically see that you are ill. That sounds very confusing to me.
It is. But it's also really beautiful, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, because everything is so slow, and I feel like when I'm 3 days in my bed and then I come out, I'm like, wow, I get to live again. Or like, yes, like touch is more intense, or like the fresh air and everything. Yes.
What would you, if you step back into the world after a few days of being in bed by yourself, what kind of an attitude from your fellow human beings is helpful in that moment? What do you appreciate?
I think like a warm, long hug in whatever way that is. It can be a long touch, or a tea, or a pat on the shoulder that's like, welcome back, hello. Yes.
Was today a day for welcome back?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it feels, it's such a nice space, and the light is so nice. Oh my God. Yes. And everything. Yes.
Thank you very much for choosing tonight to come back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Vinny.
you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. Can I interview you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So I'll introduce myself first.
Yes.
My name is Titien. I'm born in the year 1993, and I was born in Winterthur, Switzerland.
Hello.
Hello.
Which question would you like to address today?
I would like to talk about what makes me feel powerless. And what makes me feel powerless is kind of the state of the world right now. Also what has been said beforehand in the snippets, that we are inheritants of a patriarchy that we never wanted, but that has been laid on all of us, and we cannot really change anything, I think. We are subject to control of media, we are subject to algorithms like TikTok, and we may change our mindset, but I have the feeling that we cannot change the world at the moment.
I know how everything made me feel in the perspective of a woman, everything that has been said, and so I wonder, how does it make you feel to hear all of this as a man?
It makes me feel ashamed. It opens the eyes. Although you think you know a lot, you get confronted with it in these sentences, and you feel like you have been blind half of your life, And it also makes you question a lot of your stances, not of your thinking, but also of your thinking, but also how you act, how your body acts, how you act subconsciously maybe. And it gives a lot that you also think, what have I inherited that is in me that I maybe want to change, but cannot make others see that I want to change it.
I think it's really beautiful to hear that. You said you feel powerless about the world right now. Is there one thing you could think of that you could do today or tomorrow or next week or in the next year that you would think would change something, even in the smallest way?
Maybe sitting here is something that changes also the smallest bit. I think raising my voice, trying to raise my voice against the strength that is coming onto us, against this overpowerment, not seeing women as a minority but as half of the world, and trying to communicate that to the world and just open your mind to it.
And to listen, right?
And to listen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This was For Real from Theaterfestival Auawirleben in Bern, Switzerland. We are Resonate Productions, and you can find us on Instagram at resonate.productions or on facebook.com/musicaljournalism. See you next time.